Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another streaming from the MR booth at the CIGRE 2022. I'm here with my colleague David Vinci. Good afternoon.
Bonjour.
And well, we've talked a lot about products and engineering solutions we have for the transmission operators. But now we come to the other end of the network. Today we talk about the distribution network. Well, throughout the recent years, what are the trends that are currently ongoing in the distribution network?
So indeed, you know that the distribution network more and more face challenge due to the energy transition. There is many reasons for that. Some of them are, by example, decentralized generation, because more and more generation, like rooftop solar, by example, or the battery associated with virtual power plant, they are directly connected to the low voltage or either to the medium voltage, which increase the production and reverse power flow. You also have new consumption habits like electrical heat pumps or electric vehicle charging, and this creates additional peak consumption, which really load the distribution network, so on the low voltage side.
Well, I can fully confirm this. When you go through our rural area of Bavaria, you see a lot of new photovoltaic installations, and you see rooftop installations, and also electric vehicle charging stations are upcoming. Well, with all of these new installations, well, what are the constraints that go along with these trends?
So the problem when you connect peak consumption or generation on the low voltage grid, you create additional voltage rise when you generate energy, or voltage drop when you have peak consumption. The problem with that is you have impact on the other customer around, and you can either disrupt the connection, or if you have a too high voltage rise, you can damage the installation, or you need to curtail the production, which is actually not what we want to do.
Well, when the distribution network operators have to deal with all these kind of installations, well, what are the activities they do to limit the impact of these new installations like photovoltaic, like electric vehicle charging, and so on?
So the standard and historical way to cope with this kind of problematic is build a bigger grid, which means build a new line, build a new station, or increase the size of the existing line and the existing station.
Okay, we wouldn't be here if we wouldn't have a kind of solution to help the distribution network operators to solve their problems. And what is the solution we are offering?
So we offer a solution which is behind us, and it's an on-load tap changer for distribution transformers, which transforms a standard distribution transformers in one we call a VRDT, voltage regulated distribution transformers.
Well, I think we should go a bit into the technical details of the VRDT and the product we're using, the VPD, ECOTAP VPD that we have behind us.
Yes, so what VRDT do, so it's a bit pretty obvious, let's say. It controls the voltage ratio between medium voltage and a low voltage, and it allows to manipulate and control the voltage at our benefit.
Well, when we see the product behind it, it looks quite compact and looks fully industrialized. Well, what are the advantages of this product?
So there is many advantages. The first advantage is this compact product can be integrated on the top of the transformers. That means when you replace a non-regulated transformers by a regulated transformers, the footprint of the transformers stays the same. That means you don't have to make additional work on the ground or on if it's pole mounted on the pole, because the footprint remains the same. It's also really easy and fast to install. You install it basically like a standard transformers, and you know how to do that. And the commissioning is made like a plug-and-play solution, and it's let's say, partially automated. So one people train can install and commission that in 1 hour maximum.
Okay, when I see the product behind me, I know that this is now the current edition of the product, but when talking to the customers that were on our booth, some of them have earlier versions of it in service. And how long do we do this now, and what is the history of the product?
So we start the development or thinking about this product a decade ago, and we start developing it around 8 years ago. So behind me, you see the 5th generation of it. Now it's a fully industrialized product. We keep the best of your requirements to heavily standardize it, which means we can produce it faster, it's easier for you to handle it, and it's also cheaper, of course.
Okay, well, I see, of course, here we have the nameplate of this product, which is the VPD 30 amps, delta connection, or you can connect it in neutral or whatever, because these are 3 single phases, and 24 kV. But that's not all we have. I think there are quite more versions available, and let's go to the technical data.
Yeah, so the one you see behind me is composed of 3 main parts. The OLTC itself, the black part, the motor, which is a gray part, and here the controller. The motor and the controller are 100% identical for all the version of this model. Only the OLTC, which is immersed in oil, change. And with the different version, we can go up to 100 amps. We can also go up to 40.5 kilovolts. And we also can propose 17 positions. So this one is a 9 position. So that's a lot of versions which are made to fit your requirements. And for information, because this question came a lot, everyone reminds the price of the pilot solution, which was like 7 years ago. Now, with this fully industrialized solution, we reach a starting price of 4,250 euros, which is a very interesting price for this solution and for the benefit for you.
Okay, that sounds interesting. When we look at the product, you already named some of the advantages, like the small footprint we have. What else can be mentioned here?
So first, I will show you how this operates, because we use a fast transition resistance vacuum bottle and an horizontal setup, which allow us many things. First is to have a compact solution. And second, vacuum bottle and transition resistance allow a maintenance-free operation for half million operation. For standard grid, where we see between 10 and 20 operations per day, we have a life expectancy of more than 60 years, which is more than the lifetime of the transformers. That means you have no maintenance at all for the duration of the transformer's life. It can also fit users with natural ester, which is very important actually for environmental reason. It's easy to integrate in your existing installation, and it's also easily standardized. So the less deviation you have, the less version you have, the more easy it's to integrate in your asset management.
Thanks for the detailed answers. Now we talked about a lot of the benefits for the end user and for the people who have it in the installation. When it comes to the OEM itself, is there anything special the OEM has to take care about when installing the product?
So from OEM perspective, mostly actually on distribution transformers, we are on offload tap changer. So most of the OEM know how to integrate an offload tap changer, and we try to make this as simple as possible and as close as possible to what they already know, so offload tap changer. And as far as I know, all feedback we got is it's a really strong and easy to integrate product in an existing design, or it's also easy to redesign around it to make the best out of the two worlds, let's say.
Thanks. I got one question, I think, from one OEM or one customer that was here during the last days on the CIGRE. Now we see the, let's say, the sealing element with the drive directly connected to the tap changer itself. Some told me they have an air or gas cushion because they don't have a conservator for DT transformers. I do think this is also available with some spaces in between if you have a air cushion on the top level and things like that.
Yeah, so we have 75 or 150 millimeters extension pieces to cope with a gas cushion. This model in particular have a specificity because of its horizontal setup. You can use it on a wall or on the side of the transformers, and here there is no longer problem with gas cushion in this case.
Well, that's a good thing to know, because I think the other ones, the older models, didn't have the possibility to install it on the side of the transformer. I think this is quite an important information. Anything else we have? No, I think we have.
Oh, we can just add a bit more detail on the control and the way to operate it. So this solution is designed to act as a set and forget solution. So you install it in your station, you set the right parameters, you switch it on, and it will live its best life till the end of the operation life. But you can ask me, okay, but what with this intelligent substation of all this information we got from smart meter, and so is there a possibility to connect it to a supervision software or interface or IoT solution? So of course we make it ready for communication purposes, and it can be afterward or directly when you install it integrated in a complete ecosystem of smart device and intelligent station.
Thanks. That sounds like we do have options. In addition to the standard control, we have options that you can choose if you want to integrate it into the smart grid. I think about the figures we produced this year. I do think we are around roughly 1,500 that we have orders on hands this year, and we see quite a rise in numbers that we are producing, coming from a small number in the early years. We're now up to 1,500 units per year. And what do you expect for next year?
So actually the installed base is close to 5,000 units. As you said, 1,500 this year is already produced. So not all of them are already installed, but they are on the way. And for next year, we expect to double this value, so up to 3,000. And yeah, we see a lot of interest from everywhere in the world, and we are pretty confident that this number will keep growing in the coming years.
Sounds challenging for me as a sales guy to get all these numbers, but you give me a good hint. David, thank you very much for the detailed explanation of the product. We have to come to the end of our little show, and we also have come to the end of our streaming program from the CIGRE 2022. Of course, we are still here until tomorrow when CIGRE is ending. And of course, we like that you visit Rheinhausen TV again on Google, that you watch our streaming, and don't wait until CIGRE 2024, where we think we will be here again. Visit us. We are always welcome at our booth on the remaining day from CIGRE. And you're always welcome in Regensburg to visit us in our factory and to talk to our expert. Thank you very much. Goodbye from me now.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Bye.